Hello, my name is Reynaldo. This is my final presentation, my final project for Exercise and Fitness Education, Kinesiology 562. Um, the first week of this class, um, the first project was a health and movement assessment. My client and I, we went over the PAR-Q and functional movement screening. The PAR-Q, my client simply answered no to all the questions asked regarding to his health. Answering no was a good thing, so he was able to exercise without going to see a doctor, so following the protocol. And then we did the functional movement screening to assess the quality of my client movement, potentially to find a asymmetry, poor movement. So we found a few inefficiencies and compensations throughout the FMS. For instance, when my client was squatting, I found that his back was arching a little bit throughout the movement. The hurdle step, he presented a hip external rotation, shoulder mobility, tight shoulder, leg raise, tight hamstring. And some of those inefficiencies and asymmetry compensations that I found doing this test with my client. Very interesting. I found a study that stated FMS test is reproducible as a risk screening tool. Very interesting study. They used the amateur soccer players, and they did this test, the FMS test with them. So they found that the individuals who scored 14 and above, they were less to get injured comparing to the individuals who scored less than 14. So those individuals, they had a higher rate for injury during the season. So, and then the other, another project also for this course, Kinesiology 562, was the periodization program. I chose to do a linear periodization, where performing the same number of sets and repetition across training days and varying training load. That was the route that we decided to take, my client and I. Moving forward, we did the periodization. So of course we had to discuss his goal. So his major goal after the assessment, the FMS, PAR-Q, we sat down and discussed. So what are we gonna do? His primary goal was to gain muscular strength. So the idea was increase his 1RM, 10 pounds, by the end of the 8-week program. Also, because of the FMS assessment, I had some concerns and suggested that we should work on mobility as well as his flexibility. So with that said, and me exploring to find information regarding to that, found a very interesting study saying that training at 70% of 1RM is associated with substantial gain in mobility performance. This study it was conducted, if I'm not mistaken, a big cohort, about 40 people participated in that study, and they said that the exercises were always performed a full range of motion in order to achieve those substantial gains in terms of mobility. My client training status is intermediate advanced. I say advanced because he used to play professional soccer, so he was exposed to a lot of exercising and playing and competing. We will do a full body workout, try to target different muscle group each time when we train, exercise frequency 3 times per week. He will also perform 1 hiking day on his own. We have set a intensity for his warm-up based on heart rate max. Target heart rate will be 111 BPM. The intensity of his training will be a 70% RM to start the first week, and every week, every next week, we will increase a 2%. And then the duration will be a 60-minute session. I like to use this relationship load and repetition in regarding to the number of times an exercise can be performed is inversely related to the load lifted with few repetitions to be executed. So this will be very important for this program because as we start the first week with 70% and then increase each week, the intention is to by week 8 to achieve the 85% of his RM, where we will decrease the number of repetitions. More of his periodization program, exercise selection, exercise order, exercise progression. We used this source to give direction to this program, and so the idea here is to explore multiple joint, single joint, pull and push, movement, relationship, antagonist and antagonist relationship. For instance, chest and back, a back-to-back exercise, biceps and triceps, another back-to-back exercise that, exploring this relationship. The exercise order, larger muscle group first, second, smaller muscle group. Important are alternating upper and lower level extremities in order to optimize his recovery. Once again, following this source, the book that we used throughout this course, and using the principles of specificity, specific adaptation to impose the demands, the overload. So we want to stress his body at the right level, in order to see strength gains, and then the progression systematically and gradually. So we're following the system. We have a periodized program, and gradually each week increasing his load in order to see muscular adaptation. Regarding to exercise technique, my client and we decided to do again 2 compound movements, the barbell back squat, as well as the barbell chest press. Initially, my client presented some inefficiency, so we tried to correct that, to fix that, technique, the form, and then I do believe that he presented better results regarding to those exercise. The link for the YouTube video is over here, and it is available to watch. Exercise and fitness application. So applying what I have learned in Kinesiology 562 to my career. FMS, periodization program, exercise technique, extremely valuable knowledge I have learned throughout, as I like to state that these are valuable tools for my soccer coaching career as well. For instance, the study that I mentioned in this presentation regarding to the FMS, that study used soccer players to measure if the functional movement screening is a valuable tool that can be used, and it showed its importance, and then definitely I will be happy to use that, as well as the periodization, where you organize the training in order to achieve specific goals, and as well as be able to backtrack to see what we were doing, and then once again to optimize those goals. Without a periodization program, I think it would be very difficult. So definitely I'll be able to apply that to my career in the field of fitness, as well as coaching soccer youth professional level. And I like to improve myself every and each day. Be able to assess, the assessment process, be able to assess even better, designing and delivering the programs, and extremely important, as well as the coaching skill, provide feedback to people that I'll be working with. Very important. Everything is just a big ongoing process. You never know enough. I like to do a lot of searching for scientific based information, go to seminars and reading the books, learn from others, very important, and practicing more and more in order to get better at what I do. So once again, it's an ongoing process. You never know enough. Regarding to faith integration, I like to use this beautiful passage. It says, "Do you not know that your bodies are a temple of the Holy Spirit?" This other part over here is beautiful. I pray that you might enjoy good health, and that you might that all might go well with you. I like to use this idea of bodies are temple of the Holy Spirit to my clients, to my players, to people that I come in contact with. That is to say that we needed to take care of our bodies as best as we can, because we are representing the Holy Spirit, as well as taking care of mind, body, soul, and spiritual, our body as a whole. Is a beautiful passage here that I am sure is very important for a lot of. This is the reference page, and then this is the final page, my 8-week periodized training program. Thank you very much.